Hello, you cultured bumpkins. Tonight we're going to read a little classic poetry. And yeah, if you have a favorite, feel free to drop it in the old comments. So we're going to start with some earlier stuff. Oops. Can you hear me better? Let me check. Yes. Yes, we can hear better. All right. We'll start with Christopher Marlowe. Lee, what's going on? Mariah, welcome to you both. The passionate shepherd to his love. Come live with me and be my love, and we will all the pleasures prove that hills and valleys, dales and fields, or woods or steepy mountain yields. And we will sit upon the rocks and see the shepherds feed their flocks by shallow rivers to whose falls melodious birds sing madrigals. And I will make thee beds of roses and 1,000 fragrant posies, a cap of flowers and a kirtle, embroidered all with leaves of myrtle. A gown made of the finest wool, which from our pretty lambs we pull, fur-lined slippers for the cold, with buckles of the purest gold. A belt of straw and ivy buds, with coral clasps and amber studs. And if these pleasures may thee move, come live with me and be my love. The shepherd swains shall dance and sing for thy delight each May morning. If these delights thy mind may move, then live with me and be my love. Christopher Marlowe, the passionate shepherd to his love. It is pouring rain where I am at right now, and it reminds me of, rain, obviously, water, and things that like water. Here is To a Waterfowl by William Cullen Bryant. Whither, midst falling dew, while glow the heavens with the last steps of day, far through their rosy depths dost thou pursue thy solitary way? Vainly the fowler's eye might mark thy distant flight to do thee wrong, as darkly seen against the crimson sky, thy figure floats along. Seekest thou the plashy brink of weedy lake, or marge of river wide, or where the rocking billows rise and sink on the chafed ocean side? There is a power whose care teaches thy way along that pathless coast, the desert and illimitable air, lone wandering, but not lost. All day thy wings have fanned, at that far height, the cold, thin atmosphere, yet stoop not, weary, to the welcome land, though the dark night is near. And soon that toil shall end. Soon shalt thou find a summer's home, and rest, and scream among thy fellows. Reeds shall bend soon o'er thy sheltered nest. Thou art gone, the abyss of heaven hath swallowed up thy form, yet on my heart deeply hast sunk the lesson thou hast given, and shall not soon depart. He who from zone to zone guides through the boundless sky thy certain flight in the long way that I must tread alone, will lead my steps aright. To a Waterfowl by William Cullen Bryant. Lewis Carroll, Jabberwocky. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All moosey were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird, and shun the frummiest bundersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O Frabjestay, Callooh, Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas Brillig and the slivy toves that did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrabe. I didn't understand a word of that, but it was fun. Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. She was a child, and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted, her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud by night, chilling my Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I see the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Edgar Allan Poe, Annabel Lee. I do too. He's so good. And I'm not even a particularly gothic kind of a guy. I don't really like gothic stuff. And yet I really like his stuff, his short stories, his poems. I like Poe. How about Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. The sea is calm tonight. The tide is full. The moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand glimmering and vast out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window. Sweet is the night air. Only from the long line of spray where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Listen. You hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at their return up the high strand, begin and cease, and then again begin with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy, long, withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind, down the vast edges, drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another. For the world, which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Matthew Arnold, Dover Beach. Trying to find another good one. If anybody has a suggestion, let me know what it is, or even an author. Like it doesn't have to be a specific one, but it could be like, an author suggestion. I've got a couple of volumes here of assorted poetry collections. A Psalm of Life, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow finds us farther than today. Art is long, and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, howe'er pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God o'erhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints in the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing. Learn to labor and to wait. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, A Psalm of Life. Here's another one by Poe. Let's see. See if it has Aftermath in here. I don't know. He wrote so many that in a collection like this, there's a handful, and it's usually going to be, Psalm of Life, Village Blacksmith, Polar Bear's Ride. Let's see if I can find Aftermath. Right now I'm in a stage play, a theater production, and I play, the character, and it's written this way, but there's like 6 characters that I play. So I've been so busy lately, which I haven't been doing as many lives. But the show starts next week. It'll run for like 2 weeks, and then I'll be done. And then I'll hopefully be a little more regular on my lives, because I always enjoy this. Always enjoy hanging out with y'all and just reading poetry. It's good practice for any kind of speaking, whether you're good night, Lee. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And Herman Melville is fantastic. Fantastic. In the last year, I've read Bartleby the Scrivener for the first time. and I finally made it through Moby Dick, and in it was just like I didn't realize what a masterpiece that was because I'd listened to every other person that was like, "Oh, it's really wordy. I didn't like it. Couldn't get into it." Um, yeah, you need to read that one. It's a masterpiece. Okay, Aftermath. Let's get to that. I like this one. This one is very long. Aftermath by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. When the summer fields are mown, when the birds are fledged and flown, and the dry leaves strew the path, with the falling of the snow, with the cawing of the crow, once again the fields we mow and gather in the aftermath. Not the sweet new grass with flowers is this harvesting of ours, not the upland clover bloom, but the rowan mixed with weeds, tangled tufts from marsh and meads, where the poppy drops its seeds in the silence and the gloom. Good. That was good, Mariah. Thank you. It's a good one. And it's like a book of philosophy as much as it is history. Um, like let's see, one guy says, all visible objects, man, are as pasteboard masks. That's kind of deep if you think about it. Ahab says about the whale, he says, I'll chase him round good hope and round the horn and round perdition's flames before I give him up. He's a determined little fella. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Let's find us. Oh, here's another Poe piece called Ulalume, whatever. I like this one. Is that the one with Gregory Peck? Because if so, yes. But it's been a very long time ago. I need to go and watch it because I noticed that it was on Amazon Prime. I was like, I need to check that out again. Okay, here is Ulalume by Edgar Allan Poe. The skies, they were ashen and sober. The leaves, they were crisped and sere. The leaves, they were withering and sere. It was night in the lonesome October of my most immemorial year. It was hard by the dim lake of Auber, in the misty mid-region of Ware. It was down by the dank tarn of Auber, in the ghoul-haunted woodland of Ware. Here once, through an alley titanic of cypress, I roamed with my soul, of cypress with Psyche, my soul. These were days when my heart was volcanic, as the Soriac rivers that roll, as the lavas that restlessly roll their sulphurous currents down Yanik in the ultimate climbs of the pole, that groans as they roll down Mount Yanik in the realms of the boreal pole. Our talk had been serious and sober, but our thoughts, they were palsied and sere. Our memories were treacherous and sere, for we knew not the month was October, and we marked not the night of the year. Ah, night of all nights in the year. We noted not the dim lake of Auber, though once we have journeyed down here, we remembered not the dank tarn of Auber, nor the ghoul-haunted woodland of Ware. And now as the night was senescent, and the star-dials pointed to morn, as the star-dials hinted of morn, at the end of our path, a liquescent and nebulous luster was born, out of which a miraculous crescent arose with a duplicate horn. Astarte's bediamonded crescent, distinct with its duplicate horn. And I said, she is warmer than Diane. She rolls through an ether of sighs. She revels in a region of sighs. She has seen that the tears are not dry on these cheeks where the worm never dies, and has come past the stars of the lion to point us the path to the skies, to the Lethean peace of the skies. Come up in despite of the lion to shine on us with her bright eyes. Come up through the lair of the lion with love in her luminous eyes. But Psyche, uplifting her finger, said, sadly the star I must trust, her pallor I strangely mistrust. Ah, hasten, ah, let us not linger, ah, fly, let us fly, for we must. In terror she spoke, letting sink her wings till they trailed in the dust. In agony sobbed, letting sink her plumes till they trailed in the dust, till they sorrowfully trailed in the dust. I replied, this is nothing but dreaming. Let us on by this tremulous night. Let us bathe in this crystalline light. Its Sibyllic splendor is beaming with hope and in beauty tonight. See, it flickers up the sky through the night. Ah, we safely may trust to its gleaming and be sure it will lead us aright. We safely may trust to a gleaming that cannot but guide us aright, since it flickers up to heaven through the night. Thus I pacified Psyche and kissed her, and tempted her out of her gloom, and conquered her scruples and gloom, and we passed to the end of the vista, but were stopped by the door of a tomb, by the door of a legended tomb. And I said, what is written, sweet sister, on the door of this legended tomb? She replied, Ulalume, Ulalume, 'tis the vault of thy lost Ulalume. Then my heart, it grew ashen and sober, as the leaves that were crisped and sere, as the leaves that were withering and sere, and I cried, it was surely October on this very night of last year that I journeyed down here, that I brought a dread burden down here, on this night of all nights in the year. Ah, what demon has tempted me here? Well I know now this dim lake of Auber, this misty mid-region of Ware. Well I know now this dank tarn of Auber, this ghoul-haunted woodland of Ware. Said we then, the two then, ah, can it have been that the woodlanders' ghouls, the pitiful, the merciful ghouls, to bar up our way and to ban it from the secret that lies in these wolds, from the thing that lies hidden in these wolds, have drawn up the spectre of a planet from the limbo of lunary souls, the sinfully scintillant planet from the hell of the planetary souls. Ulalume by Edgar Allan Poe. Eulalie. I like that one. Let me see. I happen to have it in my collected tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe right here. I remember Moby Dick being really good. I mean, a lot of times remakes are terrible, but I wish they would remake it. But Gregory Peck, I remember him being really good. I just like him in all his roles. Who wrote that? oh, Anne Bradstreet wrote it. Okay. I may have that one. I actually have an Anne Bradstreet book around here somewhere. Probably laying on the floor. Eulalie. I think it's the last. Nope. It's not it. Yes, I do too. Come on. Thought it was in here. What's up, Drew? Nice. That's cool. What are you going to do next? I sure thought I had that in here. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, I've been in rehearsals, theater rehearsals. My mic has been giving me absolute fits. Keeps coming unplugged, and then it goes to the internal mic, which doesn't sound very good. And I'm trying to run it through my normal mic. It keeps coming unplugged. Anywho. So yeah, if it goes in and out, I don't know what the deal is. I've tried plugging everything back in really hard. I don't know. It just doesn't like me. Okay. Ugh. Crazy times. Come on, man. I don't like technology. Gotta have it. Don't like it. How's about a different one? We'll read. Nope, we already read that one. We'll read To Isidore by Edgar Allan Poe. Beneath the vine-clad eaves, whose shadows fall before thy lowly cottage door, under the lilac's tremulous leaves, within thy snowy clasped hand, the purple flowers it bore. And when I bade the dream upon thy spirit flee, thy violet eyes to me upturned, did overflowing seem with the deep untold delight of love's serenity. Thy classic brow, like lilies white and pale as the imperial night, upon her throne with stars bedight, enthralled my soul to thee. Ah, ever I behold thy dreamy, passionate eyes, blue as the languid skies hung with the sunset's fringe of gold. How strange. Mm. Probably gonna be. I don't know what the deal is on this thing. been just a couple days ago, it just started acting all crazy. Let's see if we can make it to the end. Does it seem that way? Does it? No, it definitely did. It's been doing it probably the last 2 days. It just decided it doesn't like poetry or something. So if I'll try to make it to the end of this poem and then probably call it a night. Hung with the sunset's fringe of gold, now strangely clear thine image grows, and olden memories are startled from their long repose, like shadows on the silent snows, when suddenly the night wind blows where quiet moonlight lies. Look at there, I made it through a whole stanza without it unplugging. Amazing. Like music heard in dreams, like strains of harps unknown, of birds forever flown, audible as the voice of streams that murmur in some leafy dell, I hear thy gentlest tone, and silence cometh with her spell, like that which on my tongue doth dwell, when tremulous in dreams I tell my love to thee alone. In every valley heard, floating from tree to tree, less beautiful to me, the music of the radiant bird, than artless accents such as thine, whose echoes never flee. Ah, how for thy sweet voice I pine, for uttered in thy tones benign, enchantress, this rude name of mine doth seem a melody. Thank you for the suggestion. I might have to do that. It couldn't, work any less than whatever I've been doing. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I'll have to figure that out. So anyway, sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully I'll get this ironed out. We shall see. And yeah, so hope everybody has a great night. If you're catching the replay on this and you haven't subscribed, I sure hope that you will. There's a lot more where this came from. Hopefully not the microphone cutting out, but just the general readings from the classics. And Mariah, you are very welcome. Thanks for swinging by. It's always good to see you, and everybody else that enjoys poetry and hanging out with people that like poetry. So anywho, have a great night, and hopefully I will see y'all very soon. Well, if it weren't for my mic, we could keep going, but it's just kind of like, I don't know what the deal is. It'll be a rough listening experience, unfortunately. So hopefully, I'm about to cut this off and figure out what this deal is once and for all. I hope, maybe, and hopefully be good to go. But anyway, y'all be good, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite, and I will talk to you all. Nope, that's not it. There we go. And I will talk to you all very soon.